Hi guys, I'm Alex, but you can call me Shy. How are you doing? Depending on when and where you're watching this, I imagine you'll be more or less worried about the current situation and the way the whole virus thing is developing. We'll get over this soon, hopefully. Or we may die horribly. Kidding, love you. So, what are we doing here, right? The way I thought this out is kind of a shit show. I'll be playing Doom 2016 in the background, while I talk amiably about tech, science, music, and anime. I'll try my best not to be tedious, or too laser focused on an argument, while bringing you guys awesome news, and hopefully, some entertainment. But Shy, that's Warframe. Yes indeed sweetheart, due to my poor editing skills this is my awful intro. Please, don't mind my English, that may be pretty terrible. If you spot any annoying error or problem, let me know in the comments so that I too can learn something. Also, the news may not always be the most relevant, because I start doing some research a week before the release of the video. Let's keep the good vibes going and talk about the virus. Have you ever wondered where the son of Thanos comes from? Why surfing the net when there's Shy that does it for you? Anyhow, the virus is moving as if we were in Plague Inc. It's now starting to spread in US, and people may be scared. It's a perilous virus indeed, but we shouldn't let panic get us. Panic generates insanity, and insanity is the starting point of a snowball of human feces, pardon the French. First of all, have we ever seen anything like this before? Yes, this coronavirus, properly named SARS-CoV-2, is the third iteration of the same virus that emerged in the last 20 years. Its ancestors were MERS, 2013, and SARS-CoV, 2003. At this point we can answer the question from above, where does the SARS-CoV-2 come from? If we take a look back we see that MERS-CoV and SARS-CoV may, really likely, have originated in animals. They started both as bat viruses and, after attacking an intermediate animal, they became human viruses. The same should apply to SARS-CoV-2. Scientists analyzed it and hypothesized that it came from bats, then it spread to an endangered Chinese species, the pangolin, that is trafficked in China for its scales and meat. And he ended up knocking at our door. How do the virus accomplish these interspecies jumps? Even if human is far more complex than the wide majority of animals, his mechanisms are not that different. Let's take a step back. What happens when a virus comes in contact with a cell? Its primary objective is getting its genetic code inside the host, to trick it into replicating the RNA string over and over, thus creating the original virus's sons. To get inside a cell, anything big needs to be recognized via the receptors. SARS-CoV-2, as we know it, is so good at disguising and getting inside cells as panties to replicate, that would put Barney to shame. All the corona family is trying to get inside you via the epithelial or, in general, any section of skin it can get its dirty hands on. That's why masks are pretty much useless, unless you're the one sick. I hope you aren't. And now, let's jump to conclusions. What can we actually do to protect ourselves? Let's start from the very basics, shall we? 1. Wash your hands and avoid putting them, while dirty, in any of your orifices. You may like it at first, but in the end you'll regret it. 2. If your city is in lockdown, listen carefully to what the authorities tell you. 3. Take your walk, go outside and let the sunshine kiss you, but do that alone please. Because of coronavirus many movies were shut down, one of them was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The director hasn't yet decided when to restart the shooting. The movie, as of now, will still hit the theaters November 12, 2021. Now that I've talked about coronavirus for far too long, we can listen to some good music. Today's episode is centered around the soft/symphonic metal bands, that usually have a woman as a frontman. The ones that we're going to be listening are the latest singles by Nightwish, Harvest and Noise. Enjoy.
Valorous straw among the millions facing to the sun. I will pause before a man whose path has just begun. Something unsung awakens. The quaternary code gave mankind a rose so we could see the beautiful light. Strange piece of stone hovers over crops, and a child's face aglow before the sight. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. They have beauty beyond the poetry, but choose a silent misery. The deeper their sea, the less remains. They'll find the pretty words and tame flocks to herd. There's that or carousal of dead. Join the harvest of 100 fields, hearty and tame, all going back to one single grain. Offer light to the coming day, inspire a child. Water the fields, surrender to the earth. Water the fields,
Now let's jump to the other end of the spectrum, so to speak. This song is Layers of Time by Lacuna Coil. Now that we're pumped, let's get to the real stuff. The first, and probably the hottest news of this episode is, what the fuck Microsoft? For those unfamiliar with the world of tech, Microsoft and Sony should have unveiled everything about the next-gen consoles at E3, that has been cancelled due to coronavirus. Austin Evans, though, had the chance to look at what goes inside an Xbox Series X, and the specs are really amazing. We are looking at an eye-watering 8-core 16-thread custom AMD processor based on Ryzen 2. The GPU architecture is RDNA 2 with 12 teraflops and 10 gigs of dedicated memory. It's sort of a scaled-down Radeon 7. The console offers ray tracing, 4K 120 FPS, up to 8K gaming, SSD NVMe Gen 4 drive, from what we know, is not the fastest of the bunch, but still, it is a Gen 4 drive. Long story short, if you have mid-tier components, that have aged at least 3 years, when this monstrosity comes out of the womb of Microsoft, your PC will be absolute garbage. Wait. Don't dislike the video yet. There are more things to consider. First of all, what the fuck should I do with a console this powerful if I can't use it as a PC? Let me paraphrase, including also the second issue, the pricing. It's still unknown, but it would be really strange if Microsoft sold this puppy for under $600 to $1,000. Let's say you are a normal person, with a normal job, that needs a powerful PC, but you are a gamer on the side. You'll have to spend at least $1,000 for your work rig and another, let's say, $800 for your console? Not worth it. At this point, just spend more on your PC to have everything in one machine. Thank you, Shai, for explaining the basics. With that said, we can't deny that this console is really interesting, and there are tons of people out there who are either rich, or don't need a powerful PC, or just want a no-compromise console experience. We shall wait and see what Microsoft puts on the table. We'll talk again about this, hopefully really soon. Now, talking about gaming, apparently in the night between Sunday and Monday of this week, Steam broke every record of active players. 20 million users in total were on the platform, 3 million were playing while over 12 million people were online. The most played games in those 24 hours were Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Players Unknown Battleground and Rainbow Six Siege. Good job, Steam. I guess? You feel the vibe, don't you? If you don't, maybe it's time to update your processor. Because Ryzen price has dropped significantly over the last couple of weeks, as reported by Guru 3D, at least in US, you can actually get a Ryzen 5 3600X for just around $225, pretty convenient, right? It's even more convenient if you take in consideration what Intel has to offer, not much. Let's take a few minutes break and enjoy the incredible soundtrack that Mick Gordon has created for Doom 2016.
Demonic presence will not save you. Lockdown, inefficient. Demonic presence will not save you. Lockdown, inefficient. Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
If you enjoyed, in description you'll find a link to the complete album on Google Play Music, and to the playlist on YouTube. It's time for some crazy stuff. As most of you probably know, our good old RTX 2060 from Nvidia is an appealing graphics card in the market, with its ray tracing capabilities and 6 gigs of memory. Apparently, as Tom's Hardware reports, Asus is getting bored of the good old stuff and is preparing a variation of the Strix 2060, with 8 gigs of onboard memory. Error or reality? Nobody actually knows. The document shown is not that official and isn't unusual for companies, like Asus, to report non-existing models in order to have the name ready, just in case Nvidia decides to do the trick and put 8 gigs of memory on their reference design. Only time will tell. Why wait, when it can be now? It appears that a man named Sean Noonan designed a game, for the Mario Day, called the Super 1-to-1 Challenge, that is essentially a Super Mario FPS, where you have to shoot the crap out of poor Goombas. The game is free, the download link will be down below. Now let's get back to music. The silver lining for this episode is this kind of epic metal ballads, apart from Doom's soundtrack, so I decided to take you into the world of Epica. Enjoy. And that was the last news for today. If you got here, you are an awesome guy or girl. Now, spin twice, wash your hands, and fuck off. I'll see you in the next episode, I hope.
Listen to the wind blow, down comes the night. Break the silence, down the dark, down the light. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. You would never break the chain. Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise. Running in the shadows, dancing all down your line. Break the silence, down the dark, down the line. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. You would never break the chain. Chain, keep us together. 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 Still hear you saying you would never break the chain. You would never break the chain.
That is pure Argent energy you've just taken into your system. It seems to agree with you. I will unlock the remaining Argent cells within the facility for you. Vega, give him what he wants.
61,337 UAC members deceased. 81% of the facility is on lockdown. Demonic presence through the Mars installation is critical. According to the records, Dr. Hayden, the invasion originated in the Lazarus facility. It seems that a hell wave was activated, transforming 64% of all UAC employees into the creatures you see roaming throughout the facility. The rest were killed by the demons released from their holding cells by Olivia Pierce.
I feel I should apologize for what's happened here. Some of my employees took things too far. Olivia was the cause of all this, and I believe you will have to deal with her in time. You may not agree with our research, but know this. We exploited Hell and its resources because it was in mankind's best interest to do so. What you now see in this facility is the cost of progress. But none of that matters now.
There is an emergency in the foundry. The regulators have been destroyed and the core temperatures are now destabilizing.
They've overrun the adjacent facility. If the venting turbines aren't re-engaged, neither of us will survive the meltdown.